Hey, Manny here, AI evangelist at Ushur. Now, when you think of large language models and generative AI, what comes to mind? Most likely, it's something like ChatGPT, an AI assistant that you can have a conversation with. And yes, that has put generative AI on the map for many people. However, what oftentimes gets overlooked is that conversational assistance is just one of the many diverse applications for large language models. LLMs aren't just good at chatting, they're also experts at tasks like translation, information routing, summarization, sentiment analysis, and even more specialized applications. In this video, I'm going to walk you through one of these less obvious but impactful use cases that we're tackling here at Ushur with the help of LLMs. We work with a number of healthcare companies, and a core part of what they do is back and forth communication with their members, particularly via channels like SMS or text messaging. Sometimes, though, participants don't want to receive these messages anymore, and that's totally fine. Members simply have to reply with "stop" in all caps, and they'll be unsubscribed. Seems easy, right? But there's a twist. People don't always follow that script perfectly. Instead of replying with just "stop" in all caps, they might say something like "please stop," or "stop sending me these," or even something a little bit less polite. The problem is that many automated systems have a narrow, hard-coded way of recognizing opt-out requests. They're trained to look for that exact word, "stop," in that exact format and nothing else. If it's not an exact match, the system won't pick it up. And there's good reason for this. If you're having a back and forth conversation with your healthcare plan, you might use the word "stop" in a different context. You might say that you're stopping a medication or that you'll stop by the pharmacy. In these cases, you wouldn't want the system to automatically assume you want to opt out. You're simply using the word "stop" as part of a general conversation. The lack of proper context handling here leads to misinterpretations of the user's intent, even when the message clearly indicates a desire to opt out. Easy for humans to spot, but challenging for automated systems. This disconnect can lead to some significant issues. Why? Because if someone wants to opt out of your system and it doesn't recognize it, you're not only providing poor customer service, you're also exposing your organization to some serious risk. Regulatory fines for sending unwanted messages can be harsh. This can also harm the trust and reputation with vendors, particularly SMS vendors. At Ushur, we solve this by understanding the user's phrasing and considering the conversation's context for opt-out requests. We use a large language model to determine the user's intent, regardless of how the opt-out request is phrased. Whether it's "stop," "please stop," or "get me off this list," or anything in between, our LLM-powered system can infer that the user wants to unsubscribe. The advantage of LLMs is that they allow us to perform this type of work without needing an extensive amount of training data or a specialized AI model, which drastically simplifies the implementation, at least relative to past options that we've had. While this makes it easier for users to opt out, there are going to be some instances where our system might get it wrong and trigger an opt-out request when it's not really the case. And that's okay, models will make mistakes. To address this, we send an opt-out confirmation message to the user to make sure that they indeed want to opt out before proceeding with the request. This is a great use case where LLMs can help reduce the overall risk of fines and reputational damage for our healthcare clients while also ensuring a better customer experience for their members. It's a win-win scenario. And while healthcare has been our example here, the solution applies to multiple industries facing similar challenges such as finance or insurance, anywhere where you have this back and forth text messaging going on and where opt-out compliance is critical. So the next time you think about large language models, I want you to remember that their power goes far beyond just chat. Yes, conversational AI is fantastic, and we absolutely leverage that here at Ushur, but we're also tapping into their potential in all sorts of edge cases like SMS opt-out detection, for example here, that are less flashy but equally important. And that's the beauty of generative AI. It's versatile, impactful, and ready to solve a wide variety of real-world problems.